Hi, my name is Elizabeth McMuntatenko, and I'm a librarian here at UC Merced. In this session, I'm going to talk about 3 strategies you can use when you're working on doing searching. And this can be for searching for your class, it can be for searching just because you're interested, so any type of searching in lots of different library databases and other tools that you can use. So I'm going to be working to start from this guide, which says Research Starters Crafting a Search. And the 3 strategies that I'm going to be talking about today are going to be using Boolean operators, using what's called phrase searching, and using truncation. All of these different tools are going to help you tell the database exactly what you're interested in. So hopefully it can help you find the materials that are the most relevant to your search. I'm going to start by talking about using Boolean operators. And I'm going to scroll down through this guide to show you some examples over here where it says connect your search term with Boolean operators and or. And you're going to use these to connect different keywords that you have with your search. So if you had a search where you were interested in advertising, but you weren't really sure how you should talk about advertising in the databases, if there was a certain term that would give you better results or not, then you might end up doing a search saying advertising or commercials. That's telling the database that you're interested in articles that use either term. And so you can see in this little picture, this would give you articles that mention both of them. So you get this large subset of articles. That's going to broaden your search. It's going to give you more results because you're giving the database lots of options. And so it's a good way to structure your search, especially if you're not exactly sure how the database is going to talk about a particular topic. The next search strategy that I want to talk about is using and you're going to use and to narrow down your search. So looking at this same example over here, if we wanted to find information from a database that includes results that mention advertising and also include commercials, so if there are any that mention commercials but not advertising or advertising but not commercials, those would still be included, then you can use and. This narrows down your results because you're only going to see the results that mention both of these words. So this little tiny slice in here is what would be included. And is going to narrow down your search. In this example, we're looking at how we can use it to find words that are similar to each other, so advertising and commercials, but you're usually going to use it to use terms that are different from each other. So looking up here at this example that's about sleep habits and college students, you might say sleep habits and college students. That's going to give you results that just mention both of those terms. And you can add on to that, as you can see is happening here too. Scrolling down further, you also can use not to exclude certain results with certain words. So if you say you want to search for advertising but not commercials, that's going to eliminate any of the results that would mention the term commercials too. So sometimes this can also be helpful. I usually end up using and or more frequently. I'm going to open up a library database and show you how this might work when you're doing your searches. So I'm going to go first to the library's homepage, which is just library.ucmerced.edu. And I'm going to find a database called Academic Search Complete. So I can scroll over here and enter it in. I can also go to See All Databases. And then I'm going to see Academic Search Complete is listed on the side. I will need to be connected to the VPN to use Academic Search Complete, but as long as I am, I can click on it, and then it's going to open up the database. So if I was interested in finding out information about maybe social anxiety and social media, I might type in some terms using and or like this. I could type in social anxiety. And then, because I'm also interested in social media, I might say and social media. And this looks like it's a topic that people have looked at before because it's auto-filling for me. So this is telling the database, I just want you to find results that mention both of these things. I'm also going to put quotation marks around each of these terms, which is another one of my strategies. That's telling the database, just find information that mentions these words like they're glued together. So it's not finding the word social and the word anxiety, it's finding social anxiety together. Then I'm going to search. We'll give it a second. And then it looks like all of the results that I'm finding are going to mention both social anxiety and social media. So you can see that it looks like it found 147 results. And scrolling down through here, I can see that these terms are mentioned in these different articles. And so these look like they would be pretty relevant to my search. I can also play around a little bit more with my search over here. We talked about using OR earlier. And if I'm not really sure how the database is going to talk about social media, another thing I could do is I could put parentheses around social media, and then I could add inside the parentheses other terms that might be used. So I might say or Facebook, or Instagram, or Twitter. And there are obviously other ones that I could use there too. And then I make sure I have my parentheses. So this is going to give the database other options besides just the term social media. And when I do my search, it looks like it gets me a few additional results. So my initial search had 147 results, and this one has 163. So telling the database that it could look for other terms instead of just social media, that ended up helping it find some more results that I could use. I'm going to go on back over here. So we've talked a little bit about using Boolean operators. I also want to talk about using quotation marks, and we saw this a little bit in our example, but you're going to use quotation marks anytime you're searching for a phrase. This can be really broad. You might use it, for instance, to talk about college students, mental health, different kinds of disorders. Over here, it looks like different types of success or sleep habits. Anytime you have a term that you want to search for to find results specifically about that term that uses more than one word, you're going to put quotation marks around it. And you can also use quotation marks to find information about a particular person. If there's a particular person you're interested or a particular author and you want to find their articles, you can use quotation marks there too. And these are all different ways that you can tell the database more specifically what you're looking for. I'm going to go back to Academic Search Complete over here. I'm going to take out my social media section, and I'm just going to do a search now for social anxiety. So giving it a second, it looks like this is a big topic. It found 8,579 results using social anxiety in quotation marks. If I take out the quotation marks and try my search again, it usually is going to give me different results. So then I'm going to try again. And now it's given me 14,402 results. So using the quotation marks is going to help the database narrow down what it's searching for too. It's going to help it find results that are much more specific. Scrolling through some of these initial results, I can see that most of them look like they are still about social anxiety. But the further I get down through here, I may find more and more that just mention the word social or that just mention the word anxiety. And so those might be more or less helpful to me for my research. So this is how you can use quotation marks. The last search strategy that I want to talk about today is called using truncation. And there's information about this in this box over here. You're going to use a truncation symbol to look for different word endings. And so you can see some examples over here. If you're interested in education, you could put this asterisk at the end of the T in education to find results mentioning the word education, educator, educated, etc. You can do the same type of thing with college, although you may also find results for collegial that may or may not have to do with colleges like schools. Or you can try it with politics too. I do also want to show you this example down here. Depending on where you truncate the word, for instance, if you truncate the word minor and you're interested in finding information about people who are underage, then you could find information about, the word minor or minors, but you're also going to find information for the word minority or minorities. And so you're going to want to think about, is this going to help you find the results that are going to be helpful to you? Or is this going to find you lots of results that are about a different topic? So you just want to be careful with that. Also, truncation isn't recognized in Google Scholar, but it will find various word endings on its own. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to try a search for the word politics. And we'll just see how many results come up for this. It looks like there are a lot. There are 759,853. If I wanted to truncate this word to get more options, I can just put the asterisk there. And then this is going to open it up a lot. And you can see I get 1,602,636 results. So there are a lot more results when I'm using truncation. It's going to broaden my search. It's telling the database that it can find any terms that start with those letters. And so it might find politics, political, politician, anything like that. And it looks like in this case, it's also finding words that are in Spanish. And so this may or may not be relevant to my search, depending on what I can read and what I can get access to. I'm going to go back over here. That's the end of the formal part of my presentation, but I do want to just mention that there's this video that you can watch here on this guide. You're welcome to come to that whenever you'd like, and you can watch it and it will give you an overview of all of this stuff. I also want to mention too, if I go back to the library's homepage, if you do have questions later on, you're welcome to contact me and my colleagues in the library. Under About Us, you can go to where it says Ask a Librarian. This gives you several different options. We have a chat service that you can click on. Then you can put in your name, email address, and a question, and you'll be connected to a librarian 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You also can make an appointment by clicking here. All of our appointments right now are on Zoom, but you can scroll through here. You can select a librarian. So my name is over here. You can select one of my colleagues or say no preference. And then you can pick a date and time that you think would work for your schedule. I'm just going to pick 12:30. And then if you haven't specified anyone, it's going to assign you to meet with someone. Then you would fill in this form, click to confirm your appointment, and that would go on to the librarian's calendar. You would also get an email with the Zoom link in it. And so then when it came time for your appointment, you could just click on the Zoom link and then go in and meet with the librarian that you scheduled the appointment with. So that concludes my session. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.